Yo, welcome guys. How are we? Thank you for joining the interview on stream right now. Appreciate you guys are legends. As always, good morning, good afternoon, and we are a very good evening. How are you, my friends? Hope you all. Charts, well, GJ's been up to its shenanigans once again. Obviously, been a lot of news about today with the Bank of Japan coming up their monetary policy statement. There's more to come as well with the press conference, so be interesting to see what happens moving forward today into London session. We've also got some high impact news for the Euro coming later on after the stream, after the session, and obviously a big one with ADP and employment costs for the US dollar to come later on into my session, so that'll make things interesting on the live call with the members later on. Looking forward to that, see what we can come up with. Nonetheless, guys, let's take a look. Gold playing about, looking decent. I was considering a buy just before, I was considering a sell just now, but one thing's put me off. There is no margin to the 30-minute support, so at this point I'm just waiting for the 30-minute count to close. However, if you are contemplating a sell, I can understand it, but I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna wait for the 30 minutes to close because there's a lot cleaner below that level as well. So anyway, without further ado, guys, if you've not already done so, please make sure to hit that like button and we will get underway and start with, as per the usual, let's start with GJ, guys. Let's have a look at what's going on the pound yen today. So starting at the weekly time frame, what we can see is we are forming a strong bearish candle. Previous candle was a very strong bearish candle. Current candle is a lower high, lower low to the previous. So we do have counter probabilities to the downside. So that suggests to me there's a high probability at this point we will continue bearish unless we've got some sort of catalyst on the minor time frame. So just hold back, just hold tight, guys. It could be we may have that catalyst onto the daily time frame, and that itself is also technically bearish. We've got that previous daily candle closing a strong bearish engulfing candle as well. So once again, that suggests to me it's high probability price will continue into the new daily, a bearish candle. We have created that upper wick. We've also created a lower wick. We've got a lower high, lower low. We're now currently pulling back. If we were to continue bearish, we should likely respect the high of the current daily candle. We begin to break it. There'd be a resistance formed at that point there, and then we're likely heading up. Not a great deal of margin though to the next level, but still something, probably about 30-40 pips to the daily previous resistance formed on the previous day's candle. Below the current daily candle, likely going to be options as well to look for sells in between, see what we've got. For our structure also does remain bearish. We've got to mark in the most recent resistance to the upside. That candle off the back of the news, creating that whipsaw effect, leaving a long wick in our direction, closing close to its open. Makes things a little bit difficult, but we'll see what we've got on the 30-minute. Going to mark in the support that we've just bounced off and just created previously. To the left of it, bit of a slow trickle up. We don't have the cleanest traffic to the left, but with the volume, with the momentum, with the bias, with the structure, everything is to the downside. If we were to begin to break the low of the current daily candle, I feel it's a high probability out point there. We will continue to the downside. So based off that, I would potentially look for the sells below that point. So I'm just going to mark it in to begin with. If we create that lower low in the current daily, break the where we have lower high, lower low to the previous already, then once again, high probability we will continue to the downside. Now let's go down to the 30-minute time frame. And all right, so we can see we've got a bit of a catalyst here. 30-minute, guys, albeit off the back of the news, is actually flipped back bullish. So therefore, it opens up options for the buys as well at this point, guys. CNM 30 has flipped bullish. We've bounced off, creating a support on the 4-hour time frame. Now got a new range as well. This gives us options to look for potential buys. So now we're kind of in the middle. I mean, possibly could have looked for buys just there, but my concern is there's still a chance it will come back down to the most recent support, that 4-hour level. New 4-hour candle, create low wick, and look for my catalyst win price action from these lows to take a buy. Let's go back to the 4 hour. It's got not much of a lower wick, so it still could potentially create that pullback to that level, and so long as we really remain above 195.60 or even 195.50 and I have my catalyst present within price action, at that point I would consider looking for a potential buy. Now as for the sells, obviously off the back of the strength of the weekly candle and that previous daily candle, irrespective of the 30-minute structure flipping, and it could be a short-lived flip, so long as we remain below the current daily candle's low and reject that resistance, at that point there I would also be considering my potential sells from back below 197.20 roughly. Now once again, seeing me break that resistance within the current daily candle at the high, if we were to continue bearish, we have not much need to break above it. We do break above it, close above it, at that point it's a high probability at that point there that we will continue to the upside. So if that is to be the case, I will look for the buys above in line with the 30-minute structure, and again that the 4 hour at that point will also be creating high low higher high daily, creating a higher high as well, and will likely make a deeper pullback, potentially up to that 198.50 sort of level. So that is GJ, guys. Hopefully that makes sense to the 6 or 7 of you on stream right now. So yeah, so that's GJ. Was just stuck between on the 30-minute range, between a 30-minute resistance and a 4 hour support. So in between at the moment, likely not going to be an option. I really would have preferred if we tapped into this support just now. What sort of margin do we have? We've got a fair bit of margin, so we'll see where this candle closes, if there is potentially going to be an option on a buy upon continuation above the pause candle. In the meantime, let's have a look at gold. All right, so starting once again at the weekly time frame, and we are current weekly is forming a very strong bullish candle. We've pulled back quite significantly into the previous candle. We're approaching the high of that candle itself, so I'm prepared to call this strong bullish based off the weekly now. We haven't engulfed the previous weekly candle just yet. It's not obviously NY time on the middle of the week. We're a few hours away from that just yet. That's usually a point where I'd start to refer to the current weekly candle, unless we've got an engulfing candle, which we don't have just yet, but it is forming a strong bullish candle. So based off the back of that, and based off the daily candle probabilities to the upside, then I feel there's a high probability we'll continue at this point to the upside. If you guys remember from yesterday, I did say if we broke that bearish candle's high, there's a high probability to come up to the next resistance around at 24.10. Exactly what we've done. Closed above the bows to the counter to the left, create that lower wick, broken above the previous daily candle's high, and again looks like we could continue to the upside. Gonna mark in that previous daily candle's high, see what we've got, if it's a potential level of price could pull back to form a support above for options to buy it. 4 hour tapping into a resistance, so pretty strong level. It's clean on the 30-minute, but it is a 4 hour level. So that is the most recent resistance. The most recent support is the one we formed below that previous daily candle's high. So technically we are bearish on the 4 hour, we're bullish on the daily, got to mention that. We've got the weekly, I'm considering that bullish, and the 30-minute is also bullish. So my bias at the moment on gold is to look for the buy options. Now let's have a look at this on the 30-minute. We have some very clean trap to the left. What I'm going to do is adjust these zones just now. I'm going to mark in the zone to the upside. I'm going to mark in a zone, the most recent resistance. I'm going to leave it in as a 4 hour level. We know above it we got some clean traffic to the left. Seeing we have obviously triggered in some sells at the 4 hour resistance, if we were to respect that resistance and head back down, once again there is no need to pull back above that level. And if we begin to close above it, at that point there I would consider looking for a buy to take it back up. We may just tapped into that level pulling back to create a higher low. If we confirm that higher high with a closure above, retest that zone, and begin to pull away from it, I would look for my buys into the clean traffic on the 30-minute time frame. So buys above. Now, gonna mark in the 30-minute support. Not yet retest that previous daily counts high. However, what I can do is if we start to close below that 30-minute support, bring that lower low, not yet flipping structure on the M30, but you could argue at that point it's a stronger rejection of the 4-hour resistance and confirming a low low in the M30 as well. There's a high probability, first of all, we're going to retest that previous daily counts high and then potentially head back down to the 4-hour support at around that 24.08 to 24.03 roughly. So I'm going to look for the sells below that support at this point. And if we currently, it looks like we're chopping about. I'm going to say if we make a clean move back down to the support around 24.16, I'll look for my buy options from above that level as well. So I'll mark it in, but it just depends on how we approach that level and what sort of confirmation I get within price action, if there is to be a buy from that point there. So that is the goal, guys. Hopefully it does make sense. As far as my focus, probably gold. The strength of the current candle closure in GJ needs to close at least a bullish engulfing on the next M15 for me to consider any option. But once again, I really like for it to pull back to 195.60 to that level, retest that support before looking for more solid options. So we'll see what we've got moving forward anyway, guys. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Let me know. In the meantime, Ian, good morning to you. Franco, good morning, brother. Carl F, good day to you. James, welcome, mate. Welcome everyone in the VIP. Boomer, hello to you. Brad Pies, good afternoon to you, brother. Gold juicing up, been happening in the Middle East. Not been following any of it, in all honesty. All clear as always. Thank you, Carl, as always. Appreciate you. Yeah, excuse the ignorance, but I don't bother, to be honest. My news is whatever I see on trading Forex Factory. Plus what I consider to be important to myself, obviously, is my boy, missus, my fitness and that type of thing. So, and my obviously a group. So gold, no upper wick.
That massive candle on GJ, is that a gold?
Yeah.
Is that a news candle?
Yeah. Yeah, it was the Bank of Japan interest rate and policy statement. So
Okay.
yeah, big one for the yen today, big one for the Aussie, which is just shit the bed as always.
Was the Aussie news negative?
It's a bit of a mixed bag. It's a CPI year on year, which is lies anyway. It's complete lies because it's not down. Quarter on quarter it's up, or it's the same as the previous. Retail sales better than forecast, less than previous. A bit of a mixed bag. I think it's also influenced by what comes out of China as well, the manufacturing PMI. That would have had an effect on the Aussie, seeing they're our #1 trade partner. Their news always affects us. All right, let's take a look at GUs. GU, I did for those of you, the VIP, if you haven't noticed, I did a educational video today, which I posted into educational video section. This is pretty much what that was all about when we're trading into choppy traffic to the left. I don't like to me, I'd rather let it create the move to cut through that mess. So the issue is you don't know where to pull up. We've got support. Yeah, you got support there, you got support, just literally got support everywhere. So it's just a mess. So price could continue to consolidate. Every time you think it might be ready to break, we'll straight back up. So in this situation, what I prefer to see is let it create the clean move to cut through that mess. Wait patiently for it to pull back on that resistance. Then this range becomes tradable once again. What I want to see on GU now is obviously price pulled back up towards the current daily counters high. A few reasons there. Could be buys above it, irrespective of the structure. The 30-minute structure actually has flipped bullish. Just noticed that. Oh no, it's not. It's bearish from that big impulse. Take it back. However, once again, let's have a look at the daily quickly. So the daily candle is forming bullish, has a high low to the previous candle as long as it now respects the low of the previous candle, and if it begins to break its own high, it's likely going to push back further into that previous daily candle, clean traffic above the daily candle's current daily candle's high. So if we were to retest resistance and head back down, then obviously we should respect it. If we begin to pop above it and close above it, there's a higher probability we're going to make the move up to the next level, which is that 128,620. So sells below it, buys above it. Anything between right now just needs to let it create some clean moves, in my opinion. Bitcoin, a little bit of consolidation. It's pretty much the exact same level as where we left off yesterday. So once again, a weekly rejecting that 70k level. Daily forming some high lows, high highs. Structure wise, it's also bullish. Previous daily closed back a weak bearish candle. So let's mark in the high of that previous daily candle. Current daily has a significant wick to the downside, respecting the low of that previous daily. Once again, we'll likely grab liquidity from a support on the 4-hour and M30. We get a break above that previous daily candle's high. It's a good chance we will head back to the upside. So the 4-hour, yep, we can see it's tapped into the support formed at the previous daily candle's low. That's the resistance. Previous daily candle's high, sorry. So either side of those levels, we're likely going to be looking for a buy or sell. In between, let's see what we've got. Pretty choppy area, to be honest. Alright, so that's the most immediate resistance. So that's our range we're currently trading in. 30-minute is bearish. So bit of a mixed bag on Bitcoin. I just trade the range at the moment. If it does reject 66.50, head back down below that resistance. I'd be looking for the catalyst to sell at this point. Buys from lower down. Not so keen on buys above that level, to be honest. It's just a choppy area. So once again, this sort of situation, I prefer for it to create a clean move, cut through that mess, pull back, form a support, and then look for a buy. So I'd be looking for rejection at this point. Oops. And that's pretty much it on Bitcoin for the time being. Just wanted to make mention of something too, guys. Look at the rejection as price tapped into this 4-hour level. Unbelievable. Literally popped straight up and then melted. So hence the significance of these 4-hour levels. And those limit orders, that one, there was no real wick or anything to the left. It was nowhere near 50% of the 4-hour zone as well. So how's it going, guys? Anyone in any trades as we speak? Last day of the month as well, guys. That's something we need to obviously be wary of. Let's have a look at a monthly starting on gold. So leaving a long wick to the upside, still engulfing that previous pause candle. So looks like we're obviously going to close quite a strong candle. Also, with the way the daily counter probabilities are at this point, it would not surprise me if we head back up a little bit further into the current monthly candle. Not saying we're going to retest the high, obviously, but there is a chance we will make more of a push back up towards the upside. Trade's taken. Let me remove that. Everyone asleep. What's going on? YouTube, talk to me. How are we? How's the week been? Did you have a good night's sleep? Brad, did you have a good day over in Oz, mate? Where are you from again? Are you from Perth, aren't you? Could be totally wrong. Gold. Go on, guys, talk to me. What's going on? Are we all in trades or something at the moment? what is going on the tube. I left go a story about how playing Call of Duty ended up with pregnant stripper. Wow. It's not suitable. I'd like to hear it anyway. Real life story too. Wow. Oh mate, I'm dying to hear that one now. You got me. The suspense is killing me after hearing it. Honestly, I want to hear more. I don't know, it doesn't really matter, does it? There's no one on YouTube's watching either way, so I don't think anyone knows I exist at the moment. It's still amazing. I get so many people saying to me, "Oh, you're the guy from Todd." I'm like, mate, I haven't been on that stream for 5 months now, 6 months. I know, man. I've got some funny stories too, to be honest, but again, probably not suitable for YouTube. Probably along similar lines, but not quite. You know what I mean? Didn't involve pregnancy anyway. The fun and games. Long time ago that was though. About 15 years ago? No, about 12 years ago. Ben, good day to you, brother. I hope you're well. Welcome. All good, mate. All good. Just watching Gold and GJ do their thing without any confirmation.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning to you, brother. How are you?
I'm okay. I was asleep this morning, so yeah, therefore I'm late.
Bit late. All good.
Yeah.
No in trouble.
So yesterday, when I was going out to our session, did you realize what happened to GU?
Yeah, I posted it in the VIP. I thought I tagged you.
Okay.
I thought you see it. That was absolutely, absolutely perfect, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Could not have been any better.
Yeah. The only issue is that I was not involved there. So.
Yeah, and for me, it wasn't on Gold or GJ. But for those who want to know what we're talking about, this was a ripping trade that we called. I don't trade you. And what happened was this just here. So price, first of all, nice strong catalyst closed right near the low, which is what I want to see for any impulse entry. But this particular account itself opened like so, and it just broke the low. And Franco and I basically at the same time said the same thing, not entering because it's got no upper wick. But if it was to pull back and create its upper wick, and what it's likely to have done and create a significant pullback is grab more liquidity from this zone. And if it was to continue bullish, seeing it already created that lower wick, it would have no need whatsoever to come back down and break its own low yet again. And then likely it's going to end up closing back above that support and maybe trading to the upside. But seeing it did again begin to flip and pull away from that zone, we know there's a high probability if it was going to break it for the second time, break its own low, that was going to make a nice clean move down, which is exactly what it did. So absolutely perfect. and it's always great to see it play out. Plus, good morning to you, brother. Sorry, I just saw a message. Feel free to send charts and ask questions. Ben, gold is a little tease. Reminds me of my early adulthood. Few golden teasers. Gotta be careful what I say here. Going out when you're like 18, you first go to nightclubs and that. A lot of temptation, but often led to absolutely nothing. As it does. It is what it is. Mr. Phil, g'day to you. What is this? Fine bar. What is fine bar? I have no idea what that is. Oh, closed. Agham, BTC now. Yeah, rejecting that zone, so it's approached it. So now this is where I need to see some sort of catalyst. So if this cannot close back weak bullish, with a long wick to the upside, then what that suggests to me is we grab liquidity from the resistance around that the current daily candle side, broken the daily candle side. But we're still respecting and rejecting that resistance. So this would be one instance where I take a sell without the confirmation of the M30 closing back bearish. But otherwise, what would be nice to see right now is a little bit of support form on 15. So if this 15 closes as is, followed by a weak bullish closure on the first 15 minutes for the new M30, and then the entry taken on the second M15, if that makes sense. So this candle, let's just say, closes like this, the next M15 closes like this, forms that minor support below the resistance, and a new candle begins to break that minor support, and clean trap to the left is likely going to make a nice push to the downside. Ben, I bet you have no idea what I'm I had some funny stories. But those sort of stories are more for the MY course. Alright, just give me 2 seconds, otherwise I'm gonna have a problem. There'll be a puddle on the floor in front of me in a second, so sorry, I'll be back in 2 seconds. All right, gold looking interesting, guys. So it's bouncing off that support yet again. Now, like I mentioned before, we've rejected that 4-hour resistance initially, first time. Now we've pulled back to a level of support and we've created an equal low slash higher low. If we now close above this resistance, I'm going to be looking for a buy on the next M30 calendar. Is going to be an issue. Stop loss. So likely what I'm going to have to do is wait for new calendars to create a decent lower wick. What I mean by that, if look, depends where his candle closes just now. Let's just say it closes pretty much where it is. What I like for it to do is pull back towards the low of this zone, bounce off it. That can be my stop loss. Going to make it more difficult to manage the trade if you're using a stop loss based off the entry candle, but it's probably the only thing I can do right now. Stop loss based off 15. Just depends where his candle closes. To be honest, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, it's going to be about 40, roughly 40 pips. It just depends. We'll wait and see where his candle closes. Mr. Phil, charts don't look like you want to get anything in this session. I'll be looking at charts again free away. Okay, brother, nice one. You take care as well, my friend.
Justin, I have a question in regard to the BOG. This morning there was a decision rate. For me, they went down further, so minus 0.2.5. Is this correct? Or?
Well, that's what it says. But then when you actually read the news statement itself, so it's raised to around 0.25. That's the short-term interest rate. So I'm not too sure what to make of it, to be honest, because I would have thought the same. I would have thought that meant they reduced it again. So based off that, obviously it should be strength for the yen if it did actually, they did raise it. However, obviously with the statement also, I'm not sure if it's already come or not. But if it hasn't, it says tentative, so it could happen anytime, then that is really going to have a big impact.
Okay, there's this press conference already maybe open.
Yeah, could be. I mean, let's have a look. Financial juice, that could clarify it. Yeah, so it was a hike. It says here.
Okay. So that means we can expect then that GEJ will go down, maybe.
But potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
So strength to the yen. Yeah, see here, it's I don't know why on Forex Factory it's coming as minus here. It's not on Financial Juice. So yeah, interesting. All right. The gold. Wow. Limit orders. Depends when his candle closes. Has to close at least 8 pips above, as per my rules, and if it does, it could be a limit order. So I'm just going to mark in 8 pips above the resistance. Oh man. It's pretty much that point there. Take the magnet tool off. So let's just, what is the highest point? 24 42.01, so 24 42 8 81. So if it closes above that line, I'm going to look for a limit order back on the high of that bearish candle. Probably go for wider stop loss below 15, just go for a smaller lot size. It's 24, 22, 16 on that candle. Alright, I'm gonna give TikTok a crack. Alright, 20 seconds left, guys. I'm going to look for a limit order buy. So I've got it, well, I don't have it set just yet, but when his candle gives me a confirmation of closing above that level, I'm going to set my limit order for 24, 22, 16. Oh, it's just going up. Doesn't have an upper wick on my broker. Oh man, I can't even tell. Does here. Alright, I'm gonna look to take the trade. So I've just set a buy limit for 24, 22, 16. So we'll see, I got a small upper wick. I don't really have it in the broker though, it's a little bit off blue. It's on a 15. Let me zoom in. Dude, I got a tiny upper wick on my broker as well. So yeah, I'm gonna roll with it. I think it's still valid. So let's see if it's gonna trigger us in or trigger me in. Now the other option, guys, so I'm not going to take it as it flips. What I'd rather wait for in this situation if I don't get triggered in on the limit order is for this candle to close back weak bearish, and if it does so, I would still trust it. It's just being a pause if we were to break it on the following M15. Because we've made such a significant push, I'd rather get in on the pullback and the retest. I go around us though, but all good, no FOMO, just patiently waiting, guys. Yeah, off she goes. All right, I'm gonna remove the order now. Because it has to happen on the pullback. I don't want it to flip and make a move up and then hold on to a limit order. So that's all good. All good. We're going to wait for the open now. Once again, just trying to plan. Not going to take anything in between. Now, one other thing I want to quickly do is just marking the 50% of this 4-hour zone. right, so seeing we are in that 4-hour zone, if let's just say London Open, we pop straight up. If this candle closes bullish as well, and London Open pops straight up without low wick, if it taps into that horizontal, I'm going to sell it. Reason being, the amount of times I've seen this happen, when price is at a significant level of resistance, in this case, or support, in this case, 4-hour resistance, a lot of time will tap into around a 50% of that zone where it begins to reject. Doesn't mean it's a sustained move, but usually will give you a quick pullback of 10 plus pips so you can get to TP1. So based off that, that is definitely something I will consider. But obviously it's the next count. I'm not doing it now because it has to just pop straight up. And Chef Wilson, good day to you. TikTok, good day to you guys on stream. Thank you for the sub, appreciate it. Okay, Bitcoin close. All right, so it's closed back quite strong. All right, so right now, Bitcoin, if this closed weak, bullish, I'd be looking to sell in the following candle. Below the low of the current. Back below that resistance, it would form support just below it as well. I just want to check something on gold. No. Clarksonization, you joined VIP, nice one. Is that just now, or if you have, make sure to say g'day so we know. So it's good to see quite a few new members, new faces. Yeah, so looking forward to it, to working with you guys. Going well, I'm enjoying it. NY sessions are probably more fun as we go into full-on educational mode. Plus we can get a little bit more personal, have a bit of a joke around in that as well. But yeah, just a reminder, today is the final day where you can get involved for that special introductory offer, so nice one. Yeah, I think I see. So that's Patty. Nice one. Welcome. You can join the call right now if you want, mate. Nice one, brother. Make sure to familiarize yourself with the Discord server, the VIP. And feel free to ask questions. A lot of educational content within. Uploaded a new video today as well. So plenty of things going on in that VIP section for you guys. So always feel free to send me a DM if you. It's always good to keep things transparent within the group because everyone can learn as well. If you have a question, a lot of people will learn from it. But if something requires a little bit more clarity, always feel free to send me a DM. It's not an issue. Alright, this is okay, JJ. I really want it to come back down to that support. Fight from the lows.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
It's gotta do something, hasn't it?
That's it, because it's just at the moment it just seems to have very little volume, very little momentum since the news. So it would be nice, and buys above it would be a good option. So hopefully the new guys can join us for NY later today. That's better. This is good.
I was going to say it's stuck in that tiny range, but actually
Yeah.
that range is still like 50 pips.
You're talking about what, this one here?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it still is quite
It looks-
significant, isn't it? It looks like nothing.
It looks tiny, but that's it.
It's off the back of the volume right now. I mean, like you said, often there'll be times you look at that and it'll be like 10 pips from top to bottom. All right, gold pulling back. So I removed a limit order, guys. I don't have it set anymore.
Be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, it
'cause
still will
I think
be for sure.
just be tagged in now.
Yep. I just don't like it if you've already created the upper wick, because then I'm looking at thinking, well,
okay.
let's grab that liquidity from the upside. It's actually at the 4-hour resistance as well. That's something not to forget. So that could be the liquidity grab for it to actually close back bearish, back below. So almost, they got within maybe 5 pips or so of being tagged in, or it flipped. Look at it melt now. That's what I mean. That's why I'm not interested in keeping it in. Would not be feeling great about it. So happy that obviously I did remove the order. Just simply about following the rules. It almost ticked a box, but once it flipped, the previous count was high, and then it was no longer valid. Now, I'll close it back below. We don't have any catalysts just yet. We obviously don't have a 15-minute engulfing. 30-minute. I mean, we're in a pretty strong uptrend at the moment. Still prefer to sell below support. It's a lot cleaner, much cleaner. Janique, good day to you. Welcome. I've been training these days, that's why I'm not active. Oh, really? Alright, 15's about to close, closing strong bearish. Still at that resistance. GJ bouncing back off the most recent support. Alright, let's see. I mean, if GJ closes strong bullish right near the high, that would be enough of a catalyst, preferably engulfing. Thing is, like James mentioned before, huge range, so that means the stop loss is going to be massive. 50 plus pips, and that's off the 15-minute as well, basically.
It would have to be the new candle, wouldn't it?
As far as stop loss,
Yeah.
it would. So what I really want to see in this instance is minimum this counts close above the bodies of that 15-minute resistance.
Yeah.
And yeah, you need a lower wick on a new candle, especially session open.
That's what I mean. You'd have to trust the volumes
Yeah.
of London Open, wouldn't you?
Yeah, correct.
Just keeps bouncing off either side. Just
Yeah.
closing doji.
Yeah, just consolidating. There's no momentum behind anything. Last few weeks, it's just been few and far between the quality options. But as I've mentioned before, it's all good. Doesn't mean we, jump in for second best. Just simply wait for the plan to present. Good to see some of the guys have been going well. Some of the guys I've been coaching for quite some time as well. Some of the messages have been really, really good. All right, YouTube, what are you guys looking at? Collectionization, down a lot of material in the VIP. There is a shit ton, mate. There is, and the good thing is the whole course is in there, all the videos from that. So just take your time with it, mate. Enjoy it. Again, if you want clarity on anything, feel free to send messages into the VIP chat and also directly to myself. But you need to initiate the contact, because I'm sure you've already had multiple A.C.T. Forex, people claiming to me just an A.C.T. Forex, and none of them were actually me. So I want to make sure that you're messaging the right person. So just tag me in the chat or something, or message me from the chat. Thank you for the sub. Yeah, but important thing is to join if you can the live calls, and we've pretty much got a call every day of the week. I'll be doing a sim session this weekend. Didn't do one last weekend. It's the first weekend I've missed so far of sim sessions. Otherwise, every weekend I've done a sim session. loads of them. I know, man. I used to be able to control it a little more. But somehow these days they slip under the radar. If they join the community group, I can see it and you can keep them out. But if they don't, I have no idea how they're contacting you guys. I think your profile needs to be private. It's the only way to stop it.
It shouldn't really be anything to worry about because it's so obvious when it's not you.
Oh, exactly. Just the way they speak.
Yeah.
And there we go. There's one now. Just spotted. Always someone. I left so that Justin I gave 1 million isn't going to make me a billionaire. Fortunately not, my friend. It's unreal though, isn't it? I wonder what they're fishing for these days. Usually it's some crypto investment. I'll take your million, mate. I'll flip it. Better go back selling body parts? Yeah, likely. The right parts of the world, you can get some decent money for that, wouldn't you? Alright, this is better, GJ. Around with some, I just noticed TikTok, you got some sound effects. Do you guys, could you guys hear that in YouTube? Can you hear this? Heard them? Alright, really? That's alright, at least TikTok's good for something. Might only have 2 viewers on there. But at least you can use it for some sound effects. No idea about the TikTok algorithm, how it works. Because I've gone from like 100 viewers to literally every stream's like 2 or 3 viewers now. I'm shadow banned for whatever reason. I have no idea how to fix it. It's something for perhaps tomorrow if me look into. I'm sure YouTube will have a video how to do that. So nothing YouTube can't fix these days, is there? Come on, do something.
Don't mind which way you go, just go.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, same with gold. Gold's got the volume, but it just can't decide what it wants to do. Pushes up, straight back. So, not giving us any clear direction. No real clear signal just yet. I mean, that was the best so far, but again, unfortunately, it's not unfortunate. It is what it is. Stick to the rules. It means no trade taken. And at this rate, we'll spare myself a loss because I've not been feeling great about it by now. Be 20 plus pips down, probably, or would have been anyway. Could have played that after every win. Yeah, I know. What else is there? All right, how about this one for when I take a loss? Oh, actually, no, it's not. Oh, no, don't have it. No, I can use that one. Let's fail. No, we can use that one. Alright, so next scenario which would give me a sell opportunity on gold is, again, that little bit of minor support forming, even if we were to close around the resistance or preferably just below it. It's similar to what I mentioned on Bitcoin before. What I'd be waiting for is a bit of a pause at the open, so even if it wicks back above only to reject and close back below, then that would be, again, that'd be enough of a catalyst for me to look for a sell on the following M15 as it pulls away from previous resistance, breaks the support candles low, and it's likely heading back down, clean trap to the left, back down towards that 24.17 sort of level. So that potentially could be an option. I don't quite have a catalyst to sell it just yet because I don't have, or any, as per my rules anyway, don't have a bearish engulfing. I've got a candle closing with a higher low, higher high sort of previous candle, which was a really strong bullish candle. I don't have any support form within the candle itself on the 15. I don't have a 15-minute engulfing candle as well. So I don't have any real catalyst. So in this instance for me, I need to wait for something that I am familiar with. And what I just mentioned is something I've been waiting for. The 15 did close that weak bullish candle, giving me the option to sell it back down. And this is really good on GJ. This is what we want. All right. Let me mark it in. A little bit dangerous, but you've got the 30-minute structure on your side. If the new candle was to open up and just sink into this zone and tap into around the 50% of the zone, I may consider a buy. Stop loss below the lowest point. It's still quite a wide stop loss. It'd be a very, very small entry. Bet I'll get the viewers now of the added sound effects. Oh, surely that will reel them in. How about streaming live from the gym in Thailand? That would be great. If I had a chance of working on a setup there, which obviously is not going to happen. Can't stream from the laptop. It's just way too hard. I don't think I'll mind if I walk in with a PC and a couple monitors. to be honest, over there I could probably pay them enough to use their computer and some monitors. Honestly, money talks. All right, so let's keep an eye on GJ, guys. Nothing on gold. GJ is now focused. There's no bell. If there was a bell, I'd use the bell sound effect for the open. Drum, I assume that's a drum roll. We can use that. All right, guys, session open. So we want GJ to just drop. There we go. That's not all right. Let's create the upper wick. It's not valid. It's a very impulsive entry, guys, so not bothered. All right, gold is closed still above the resistance, or above the bodies of the candles to the left within the resistance. So now I need some sort of support. Not going to take it sell back down without that. Now GJ, let's wait and see if we have support forming at this level. Let's create its upper wick, guys, so it could now just continue to the downside. For me, I'm not interested in selling it into the support because it could reject at any point. So I'm just going to patiently wait, and there's still going to be options. All I can do is plan ahead. If this candle closes bearish, followed by bullish engulfing, leaving a long wick into the zone, bouncing off it, then that would be an option to buy it upon the next 30-minute candle. Even if I was wanting to sell it, no stop loss would be massive. With the volume at the moment within these candles, you would have had more than 80 pip stop loss. Not comfortable with that. That's just based off the 15 as well. So Bitcoin needs to close now below, on the 15-minute, below that support. And then, in my opinion, that'd be a valid entry. Interesting to see what it's doing though, GJ. It's pulled back quite significantly into the zone now, not quite 50%, and he's now potentially flipping. So sort of gives an example of why I look for that impulse entry. Amount of times to see it do that, we'll pull it well into the zone if you got a big zone like we'll do here on GJ, and around that 50%, and then reject and give you your 10 plus 15 whatever 20 pips. I mean, it happens quite often from my experience. Sorry, Peter, I just saw that message as well. Good day to you, mate. Hope you're well. How about you guys? Have you, off late in the last few weeks, have you found it difficult to find quality entry? Now, a lot of you be trading a lot more than I do, because you see on stream how strict I am. If it does not tick the box, I don't take anything in between. Just curious to see, because for me, things have been a little bit difficult, but I have still not been taking losses because I've just been really strict with it. Less opportunities. Last week I only took 4 trades, this week just the 1. Just curious to know if you guys found it the same, or I know not all of you trade the way I do. A lot of you trade off the lower time frames. Colif, we're getting stopped out break even a lot, and it makes the move. Yeah, I've been stopped out break even last week 3 times. 3 of the 4 trades were break even trades with one win. The volume's been delayed. Well, even yesterday on gold, that really quick entry that just flew within a minute or so, and then literally popped straight back down to entry 2 seconds later. So it was a really good exit for me to get out with some profit, because obviously we also after that it actually pulled back. Trizzo recently has been difficult. Okay, so interesting to know that I'm not the only one who's found it. You know, it's difficult to find quality. And there's been a lot of volume. These candles have heaps of volume. I mean, look at GJ as well today. That last candle itself was more than 80 pips. So it's not the volume. It's not like the volume's not there. Just the moves are sort of coming from the middle of nowhere without any real solid confirmation, or something that I'm familiar with anyway. But this is GJ's looking okay again. So there's the options just now is, depending on the closure of this 15-minute candle. Now, if it's going to close strong, if it's going to close bullish, then we want to close strong. We want to close back above, and then have that little pause on the next 15-minute candle that provides minor resistance at support. And that point there, to break the 30-minute candle's high, break through that minor resistance, there's a high probability what we're going to do next is head up to next resistance, which is this point here, and that would be a valid entry. Now the other option is if it closes like so, closes back bearish, and the following candle closes bullish engulfing, or very close to it, close the M30 back bullish with a long wick to the downside, like so. That would also be a catalyst. Look for a buy to take back up in line with the structure itself on a 30-minute, which is technically bullish at the moment. As long as we really remain above these lows, it's 30 minutes technically bullish. The other time frames are bearish and the bias is bearish, but the 30 is technically bullish at the moment. Cammy, you reckon gold's going to keep moving down? I've got to sell 24.24. Oh, it's a nice one, man. You're safely in profit. To be honest, if it were me, I definitely would have secured something. My target would be below this bullish count, the open of this bullish count, because that's the next support you've got, and that's 14.1760. But yeah, I'd definitely be at least trailing a stop loss at the moment into profit. So at this point, if you're not very secure anything, I'd just trail a stop loss to above the current candle, and at that point you're still roughly 30 pips in, or 20 pips in profit. Okay, BTC I mentioned before. Want to see a closure below that bullish candle's low. I mean, preferably on the M30. The 15 wisdom golf and close below, pulling away from that resistance. Once again, rejecting the resistance at the current daily candle's high. That will be enough for a sell, clean move up. Likely make a clean move back down. So I'll just be waiting for a bit more minutes to see where this candle closes. If it closes below this 66 58.18, and in my opinion it'll be enough of a catalyst. What's GU up to? Still not much. Cammy pulled a muscle in the arm last night. First time back. Oh man, yeah, that's not good. As long as he didn't tear the bicep muscle, because that would be tragic. That would in most cases I think require surgery. Well, if you tear it off the bone anyway, definitely would require some surgery. You sure you tore it, or it's just not muscle soreness? All right, JJ rejecting just now. Quite a lot of indecision at the open of London. Gold also rejecting. Euro CPI, Nick. Yeah, it's I think a couple hours away, isn't it? Yeah. So that's predicted to be as per forecast. That's the CPI flash estimate year on year. Or CPI is forecast to be less than previous. So from what I've heard, that they're walking towards a rate cut in September for the ECB, but nothing's in concrete. Maybe the market will price that in. If that's the case, then maybe the euro might come down a bit off the back of that. It's EJ up to. Yeah, it looks like euro is at the moment moving down a little bit. Gabby didn't go very hard, light work, high reps, 10 kilo. Oh, okay. Right at the bottom of the bicep. All right, is fine. Oh, really? Maybe you did tear it a little bit I'm sure we'll be right, mate. Just be cautious. If it starts to swell up a lot, then I need to go see a doctor, unfortunately, my friend. Nick, around then, they all waiting to see what the Fed are doing. Yeah, well, generally what the Fed does, everyone else follows in the end, don't they? To be honest, so once again, I think they're all for potential rate cuts from September. So this is okay on gold. We're still looking for buys from support. Nick, analyst at work saying Fed should make a decision soon. Nice one. Well, with the election coming up as well, obviously don't be surprised if they decide to cut the rates prior to it. All right, so 15 minutes closed. So GJ, we need now bullish engulfing. Very simple. Very, very simple. Well, once again, if not bullish engulfing, very close to it. That will close this candle, a liquidity candle for long wick to the downside. Closing back bullish, confirming some support yet again on the 30-minute at the 4-hour level of support. And that would be sufficient enough for me to look for a buy on the following candle. So that is now what I'm waiting 15 minutes to see. And gold, we'd really like for it to come back down a little bit lower, but it doesn't necessarily have to. It is tapping into the most recent support form. V and Rach, gold analysis, looking for buys, my friend. So I'm looking for buys above the supports pulling back to just now. Now this is the new range we've got. So we've actually rejected the 4-hour level. To look back to the left, we rejected a 4-hour resistance. So the most recent resistance we've got is obviously higher, just here. So now this is our new range between 24 roughly and 24.16. So at the moment I'm waiting for price to pull back to support and look for obviously confirmation of support forming and wait for my catalyst to look for a potential buy back up. Now if support fails and we start to pop below 24.14, clean trap to the left. Also at that point we'll be flipping a 30-minute structure now. So we've got a catalyst at that point if we confirm a closure below. So I'm just going to be waiting for literally the closure below, tap in, and I will look to sell it. So long as we remain above 24, a lot of the support, but preferably back above it, so 24.16, and I'll be looking for the buys. Otherwise, the sells. Silver pumping as well. Lately, sell now. Not for me. So what are you talking about? So what? is selling gold now. It's you're a bit too late in selling it into support. DJ, you're at a 4-hour support as well. So, I mean, in my opinion's not sell, but you might have a different opinion. So if it is, fair enough. Oh. Oh, shit. Wow. Well, anyone who's holds PayPal stock, it's jumped 14% so far this week. Lots to watch. That's why keep an eye on JJ.
Do you say that long wick is less important because it's a news wick?
Not really, because I think of it then why did it pull back to that level there? So it's obviously a pretty solid level of liquidity. I still would always feel more comfortable when it clears it, because I'd always have that sort of I don't know, in the back of my head thinking it could reject and bounce off really anywhere within the zone. So yeah, so I would rather it clear it at this point. That's just me. And the only other option would have been if it literally popped down, looking for that impulse entry, just because I trust that it's going to happen regularly. And so far the results on it are really good. Looking to the left, got a pretty choppy area of traffic. It's at a 4-hour level though. It is too, so hence why it may wick down to that level and rejected. But tell you what, the sells below, I mean, if this candle closed back, I'm talking about the 4-hour now, next hour and a half. This closed bearish engulfing, I'd be definitely trusting the sells below, or even if it closed right near it, to be honest, because you got the momentum, you got the structure. 30-minute, apart from that, I mean, that will flip bearish from closure below, so that'll be back on your side in line with the higher time frames. You got the daily creating significant pullback and breaking its own low yet again. So I'm not discounting potential sell and even the impulse sell. Just depends how price approaches the lowest point of the current daily candle. just going through different time frames, I honestly would find it hard to find any real solid catalyst on even the 5 minute. I mean, that's bearish engulfing, but you're at support. Next candle shows weakness, closed weak bearish on lower wick, break that, got not much margin at all, back to the support itself. The following candle has no upper wick at all. So in all honesty, I feel no matter what time frame you trade on, I know some trade off the 5 minute, I don't see any real clear entries at the moment, or any that would have been that clear on GJ. Gold maybe, probably on the closure at this point potentially, but again, not much of an upper wick, long lower wick as well. It's just not, it's not me, it's not the way I trade. I'd rather wait for the strong confirmation at 15 minute minimum, 30 minute preferable, because again, like I always mention, in the long run it's more sustainable. I can trade half of what a lot of the other traders will trade and I will come back with much better return, because I'm not exposing myself to as much risk, and I know when I do trade there's an 80+% chance it's going to be a winning trade. It means I'm less stressed on the charts, I'm less anxious. I know exactly what I'm to look for. I'm not going to deviate from it. I'm not going to just go down to the 5 minute or the 1 minute because I can't find something on the 30 and 15. Yeah, and sometimes it's boring. Trading is boring, in all honesty. That's why it's best to do it within a group, or you know, watching a stream or something. Even if you listen to me talk shit about the gym, or you know, cooking salmon for dinner or whatever it is, you're less likely to do anything stupid than if you're just to be trading in the background by yourself. In the meantime, I pick up on things, I learn things. How do you think I come about the impulse entry from the zones, the high time frame zones? Just from watching the market, noticing something and then backtesting it to the point where you trust it, you know, you can make it work. The win rate on it is sufficient enough to actually take it live. That's what I've done, and so far it's been fantastic. And that's what I do now. I keep an eye on, you know, other developments, potentially maybe pure limit orders at certain levels. That could be something I implement in the future, or maybe looking for the 5 minute at a certain level to get involved. But again, doesn't mean I'll just start trading it. I need to test it out properly. All right, perfect. Bitcoin. So if this 30-minute candle now closes below, nice entry, really nice entry. It'd be closing below 15-minute support formed at resistance. So right now, the catalyst for me is just simply close below that 15-minute candle's low. Oh, it's a good way to die, isn't it? Choking on water. right, so the 30 is about to close and GJ is closing bearish. Weak bearish candle, long wick to the downside, and there's absolutely no confirmation for me to take a trade on GJ Gold. Good thing is it's back at support. Now I need to wait for some sort of confirmation now for the buy, so don't have that just yet. All good. Had Bitcoin close. Nice one. Bitcoin looks good. It's like it's broken low. I'd be waiting for it to create more of an upper wick, and it's not going to do it. But it's a nice strong catalyst. Yep, look at that. Yep, 5 pips on the table already. Interesting to see nonetheless. Right, this is all right on gold. What I want to see is a bit of consolidation, or my other catalyst, bearish M15 followed by bullish engulfing M15, closing this M30 back bullish above the support, or we want to see a little bit of consolidation, and then price begins to close above the consolidation. I like to see prior to it a 30-minute closing bullish, and that would also be enough for a buy from this current level. Now if it closes below, that would also be a catalyst look for a sell option. Oh.
I've got to go jump. I'll see you on for New York.
No, not a problem, mate. All good. You take care.
See ya.
Catch you later. All right, GJ, for any bar you want to see, like I said before, same scenario, but down to 30. You want to see it close very strong bullish, preferably engulfing, because that's going to close us back above the support. So likely what we've done is grab liquidity from this zone yet again. And don't forget, 30 minutes technically is bullish, so long as it remains above the lowest point of this support. So still could be options on a GJ for a buy as well. So we're looking for both buys on GJ and gold at the moment, just patiently waiting. Well, Bitcoin dropped around, but looks at 9 pips, and he's pulling back towards its open. What's the deal, guys? Anyone in any trades at the moment? Let me know. Or is anyone wanting me to look at any pairs? Let me know. I'll happily do so. There's not much going on until this 30-minute count closes either way. BTC again. Well, maybe my opinion of it, it could be in a trade potentially just now. So it didn't have much of an upper wick though, but as I mentioned before, when it's closed below that bullish candle's low, it's what it's done. and since making the move. And in this case, it doesn't really need the upper wick or much of one. I just prefer it to have one, because what you've done is you grab liquidity from the upside from a zone closed right near your low. So what I see often happen in this situation is price will pop down, usually give you enough, or you get to a point where you can consider securing some profit, and at times it will then pull back to create the upper wick. But a lot of the time it's just going to trend, going to continue to the downside and make a nice move, depending on the traffic, obviously to the left. In this case, we've got a nice clean area. So yeah, so you could have been in Bitcoin sells at the moment, to be honest, mate. And by the looks of it, you would have had not quite 10, close to it. Oh, GJ melting. All good, guys. We're just gonna wait for confirmations now. So if this closes below on a 30, we're flipping the structure. If it closes significantly below, I'm gonna look for a limit order. Alright, what are you gonna watch? We'll watch gold for the time being. What I'm gonna do is I'll take like a 2 or 3 minute break. I'll come back, so I want to wait around for the closure of this candle, see what sort of options we have on both gold and GJ. And obviously the closure of this candle, we'll reassess, and we'll see if there's going to be an option on gold to buy, maybe an option on GJ to sell at this point, and we'll go from there. I'll be back in a couple minutes, guys. Alrighty guys, I'm back. So the 15-minute has closed on gold. Has closed bearish. Alright. Current candle bouncing off it, so there's still no entry, but we'll see what this candle closes. If this closes bullish engulfing, I'll be looking for a buy. Just bounces now without any confirmation. Nothing I can do about it. GJ close below on 15. What I want to see now is who have tapped in. Be great if we close now weak bullish below. Around that pause below, we've made quite a significant move. The previous candle's got a lot of volume. 80 pips yet again, so wow, there's heaps of volume with GJ at the moment. So I want to see it close below weak bullish and then entry on the following candle as it breaks the low off the 30 and M15 bullish candle. Stop loss would have to be above the 15-minute. A lot of volume though. To be honest, I'd probably go in for small lot size and have a wider stop loss due to the volume right now. Is there anything more being said coming out of the Bank of Japan? That is just crazy volume on JJ right now. Gold as well. Carl F, all good to you, mate. Thank you for joining. Once again, things moving without confirmation. Anyway, we'll see. We'll stick around for the closure of this candle. The next option on GJ could be a limit sell, but God, it's got to travel a fair distance just to get back to that level already. It is right now. It's 35 pips below it. Doesn't look like it, but it is. So it's a tough one. Wow, JJ. Oof. Not a bad thing though, not a bad thing at all, because it is cutting through the support here to the left. So once again, it makes sense if it broke its own low, the current daily, for it to continue, but the issue is coming from way too far above to trust the impulse entry for me. But now it makes it very simple moving forward. Wait for price to pull back, retest, reject, to sell it. So we're going to focus on gold, guys. Gold still might give us an option. That's where we want it to close above. Now, if it closes just above, what I prefer to see is the new candle to open up, pop up, was very similar to yesterday, and as it pops back down, creates lower wick, I'll set a buy stop above highest point of the entry candle. If this candle, however, closes closer to its high, I'll just simply wait for it to create a low wick and buy as it begins to break above the highest point of the catalyst candle. So that's the two options just now, but first and foremost, it needs to close above that 15-minute candle high. Bullish engulfing is going to be my catalyst. Going to close the M30 relatively strong bullish, so we've got that confirmation of support forming at support. I don't want it to close like this. That's a weak closure. I'm not as happy with that. Got to travel a fair distance just to break the 30-minute bullish candle's high. I'm not going to enter it prior to it because it could reject. It's just a weak candle. You know, the sellers are obviously present towards the end of the candle, pushing it back down. So I would not trust it. So it's all about the closure now in the next 7 minutes, guys, on gold. And just quickly, guys, just one last time, I might say one more time at the end of the stream, don't forget, last chance to get in on VIP at the current rate as a foundation member ends today. So if you are interested, the code and the link is down below. Yeah, plenty of things going on in the group. Lots of educational videos and live calls basically every single day of the week. Oh god, what is going on? What is going on with the pound? It's just really GU. EU is not really moving. AU, forget it. Oh, wow. What's UJ up to these days? Yeah. Well, it's bound to happen at some point. So it's now really making some significant pullbacks. All right, 5 minutes, guys. Let's see. So for those who just joined, we're waiting on gold. Want it to close above that bearish candle's high on the 15-minute. And if it does, it could be a valid entry.
I'm taking also a look to GU.
Yep.
It's also coming up. And maybe if we close about in the near of the resistance area, so maybe I'm willing to take maybe a buy.
Yep.
Because it's bounced back from H4 support and leaving,
yeah,
and leaving very long wick.
Yep.
So
agreed.
Also on the 1 hour. Yeah, so everything looks for buys on GU.
Yeah, just the only 1 hour you're into a bit of a resistance, but I know your 30-minute is generally a confirmation. The 30-minute's got a little bit of margin, not a great deal, but I mean, you and I both know how we feel about that.
Yeah, I'm so seeing that we pushed very hard back from the support.
Yeah.
And if it's close really above this resistance, I'm taking the risk.
Yep. So you're just gonna wait for the low wick as your stop loss, or?
Yeah. So waiting for to close above and to create a low wick, and then taking the buys.
Nice
so
one.
Without the lower wick, I will not take any buys.
Yep, just have to obviously wait and see next 3 minutes. Moments rejecting quite strongly as well.
Yeah, correct.
So a heap of volume today, but again, it's just things are moving. GJ, God, every time I look at it, it's dropped another 20 pips or so.
I found GJ very dangerous today.
Heaps of wow, that's almost 200 pips in this candle itself. Very dangerous to trade it with the Bank of Japan news about. Very dangerous.
Yeah. So the normal lot size and also the stop loss with, I don't know, 15 pips is not valid here anymore.
No, it's not. It is not at all. I would highly recommend, if you are trading any yen pair today, having a wider stop loss, smaller lot size.
Yeah.
It should die down, you think, around MY session, because that's obviously late in the evening over in Japan. But the Bank of Japan have come out and said they're willing to intervene 24/7 basically. So anytime of day or night they see fit, they'll intervene.
Yeah, and for gold, I don't know. So today we have also FOMC.
ADP.
So, no, I mean in the evening then, in my evening.
Oh, we do, yeah.
Also, yeah. So,
yep. Exactly. So that also obviously could be waiting for that. So it's expected to be unchanged, but it'll be more about the press conference.
Yeah, maybe they're a little bit in pressure because the European A.C.T cut the rates.
Yeah,
and maybe they will do also. So there could be something in.
Yeah, there could be a shock, but from what I'm hearing, they're likely to keep rates unchanged, but maybe talk about potential cuts moving forward. So if that's the case, that would probably obviously bolster the strength to the majors against the US dollar and gold as well, gold and silver. Is it already priced in? Because both gold and silver have made a significant push today. So potentially. Rodrigo, Bank of Japan, hike rates, they did. It's Bank of England will hike their rates tomorrow. Oh, really? I'll cut their rates. I was going to say, I heard the opposite. So we're potentially experiencing a shift in both central bank. Well, correct, and that hence why, off the back of that, not only just off the back of the yen upping the rates, the Bank of Japan, but also of the potential moving forward for rate cuts on the pound, also maybe being priced in. Yeah, that's a massive move. All right, 30's closed, and no CKR on gold. 30's closed back bearish itself. There's still no catalyst for me. So what I'd like to see in this sort of instance now is similar sort of plan, guys. So the 15-minute, all I like to see is probably this candle, this 15-minute closing strong bullish, followed by, once again, bit of a weak pause on the next 15. I'm still going to close the M30, a bullish candle. The M30 is going to look like this. It's a stronger closure. Not only that, the entry will be breaking above the minor resistance, so lower wick breaks the high of that bullish 30-minute bearish M15. Then there's high probability we'll head back up to next resistance, which is back up towards the current daily candle high. So that's the type of thing I would consider if I was to be on the chart for it. That's what I'd be looking at. Gold, I still like sells below this support. We're going to be flipping a 30-minute structure bearish, so potentially it could present, but it's not quite just yet. Don't forget you got the 4-hour into its last hour. So if this 4-hour candle does close back as is, or even below flipping a 30-minute structure bearish, we are rejecting that 4-hour resistance. So strong rejection of that level. Then what you could probably do is I'd wait for the new candle to open up, creates up a wick. We know it could potentially pull back to that resistance or a little bit higher up to most recent resistance to form the M30. Let it create the higher wick. If it creates that lower high, rejecting the low of that 4-hour resistance, and you get your candle swing price action, that could be an entry point to take a sell back down in line with the strength and the rejection on the 4-hour, which will, the current 4-hour, which will be obviously previous to that point there. With the further sells below the support, patiently wait for a closure below, tap in, and continuation. Wait for the 30 minutes to confirm it's flipped bearish, and that will give you an option to sell it. DJ, you just need to wait for a pullback, but as Frank and I mentioned before, you've got to be very careful with it today. Wider stop losses, lower the lot sizes, wait for a really solid confirmation. The impulse entry, yeah, does look good, but it's already today from the highest point to now. Let's just measure it, how far it's pushed, or how far it's dropped. 400 pips. Doesn't mean it can't continue, but I kind of feel like we're a little bit late, so I'd rather get in up on the pullback at this rate. Where can we pull back to? Well, obviously the most recent support we have broken, and that's what I'd be waiting for in GJ. Once again, 4-hour, open up, pull back, potentially retesting that zone, create lower high, rejection, and that could be your option to sell it moving forward. So hopefully that makes perfect sense to you all. Yeah, I think that's about it. What sound effect can I use? Give it a clap, give myself a clap. Alrighty guys, so yeah, that's what I'd be looking at moving forward. To the members, I will be on probably about 15 minutes earlier today, so probably about, what time is that? About 12, just around 12, around midday UK time, roughly around just before 9 PM for those of us here in Oz, in the eastern states. And yeah, look forward to that. Once again guys, if just last time I'll mention it, today's your final day to join at the special foundation rate membership for the VIP. So if you are interested, the link is down below. Yeah, thank you all for joining. Take care guys, trade safe, you know what to look out for. I will see the members, I'll see you guys in a few hours from now. And if I see something playing out and I'm on the chart, obviously I'm going to make dinner now and take a little bit of a break, but if something plays out and I'm on the chart, I'll let you guys know what I'm looking at. Otherwise I'll see you guys for pre-MY, and YouTube will be on tomorrow from around the same time as today. Until then, cheers, trade safe, take care.
Thank you.
I'll catch you then. Bye guys. Bye guys.
It sound right, boys.